Hey guys, it's me again, Rin. I want to tell you a story about a bunch of things, but particularly about an incident that happened to me on Wednesday, July 30th of this year, 2025. This happened at Lifetime Fitness off of Highway 92 in Woodstock, Georgia. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about gangstalking, but you can look it up. It's basically organized corporate and up bullying. And I'm not really sure, well, I have a few hints as to why I might be targeted right now. I'll start with the first, which is I come from a pretty wealthy family, and I suspect that my trust fund inheritance was stolen from me by family members. Number two, I am in the process of outing an organized embezzlement and theft ring, also at the corporate level. I am in the middle of a divorce, which involves, of course, family members and extended family members. My house, I'll say, was stolen from me. And also, this might include my old workplace, is also a corporate entity, a former workplace, which had given me plenty of great years, all of you, including Lifetime Fitness. I love Lifetime Fitness. It's my haven, it's my refuge. It's the one place I want to go to relax. And I need to put this out there so that this bullying stops. And whether or not, I'm praying that the intent was honorable, but the methods are not. So on Wednesday, July 30th, in the afternoon, I'm just going to give the general story for court. I will give more specifics. I was very tired, and I just wanted to go relax at Lifetime Fitness. So I went in the afternoon, and I checked in, and I went out by the pool. Well, actually, let me start out by saying that when I first walked in, I heard a girl with an Australian accent, which I thought was interesting because I listened to a girl with an Australian accent on YouTube. And I didn't pay much attention to it. She sounded like there was some sort of disturbance or something. So I just minded my own business, checked in, and then made my way to the locker room, got on my bathing suit, and I figured I'd go take a nap at the pool because I hadn't gotten much rest, and do some work too. So I walk out to the pool, and I was looking for some seating. It wasn't too busy. And there was a family in the pool, and I heard them say something about bees. And I had marked off a chair, or had spotted a chair that I wanted to sit in. And as I was about to go sit there, I did realize, I was like, oh yeah, there are bees. There are bees coming out of the trash can there, which I thought was peculiar. Well, not too peculiar, but peculiar because Lifetime Fitness is a really nice club, and you just wouldn't expect a bunch of bees to be coming out of the trash can like the way I saw it. And so I was like, oh, no problem. Let me just go to another side of the pool. It's a very large pool. So I made my way to the opposite end of the pool, and I noticed that what looked like an employee was again walking away from the trash can, which I had kind of noticed at the other trash can as well. And I don't know, it looked as if they were putting something into the trash can, or I don't think they were taking something out. It didn't look like that to me. And I saw another family in the pool looking at the person walking away from the trash can, just kind of questioningly. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. And so I sit down in the chair in the shade, and I'm about to get comfortable. I'm setting the chair up, and I'm sitting down and on my phone, and I'm like, oh, there are more bees again. In fact, a couple of bees, one in particularly, came and landed on me. And I'm not scared of bees. So I was like, oh, okay, bees. And at this point, I feel as if something strange is going on, because at this point, a man and a couple children walked by that I thought I had recognized as one of my client friends' old trainers. And by the way, after I'm done with this video, I'm going to make a list of names under the video of people that I am not saying guilty or innocent of anything, just people of interest that would want to be questioned or spoken to. Anyway, I think I recognize this trainer, or this person anyway, and I'm noticing the family in the pool is still kind of looking around questioningly. So I sit down in the chair, and I'm trying to relax, and then all of a sudden I start to notice that they're going to pull everybody inside of the club. because it looks like there's going to be a thunderstorm. And we're in Georgia, so there are lots of thunderstorms. And it's not unusual for there to be afternoon showers. Sometimes it seems a bit extra, I guess you could say, or, it's just frustrating when you just want to go hang out at the pool, and it seems like 3 or 4 to 4 to 5 times every time you go, there's going to be a thunderstorm. So I start to notice they're pulling everybody inside. At this point, I'm a bit frustrated because, yeah, it has been, for me at least, 4 out of 5 times, 3 out of 4 times every time I go to Lifetime Fitness, within 8 miles, there's going to be lightning. Okay. But at this point, I also think, for me, it felt as if there was an illusion being sent. The bees, the Australian girl, and now they're pulling everybody inside. And what looks like employees to my left, I didn't know if they were employees or not, but I even said to the guys, I'm like, hey guys, like, how come just every time, like, it just seems, and they were like, well, ma'am, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I understand. Well, in this case, I'm a bit frustrated. I'll sign off on something that says if I'm struck by lightning, you guys have no liability. Well, at this point, since I'm questioning their authority, they get frustrated with me. So I just said, go get a manager, please. I'd like to speak to a manager. So I spoke to, I think her name is Gabby, and she apologized. She was very nice, and she said she understood my frustration. But I cooperated, and I went inside, definitely frustrated. Was not angry, just frustrated and tired, like everybody, just wants to go and relax. So at this point, I think I went to the front desk, and they have some lounge chairs at the front. And I was just looking for a comfortable place to just go and sit for a bit. So I went and sat, I think that's where I went to sit first, which is why I want to see the tapes. And so I went and sat down at the front desk, and I was just going to meditate and relax for a little bit. And as I'm meditating and just kind of napping / meditating, I hear all of these swarming sounds around my head. I can't figure out if it's the people speaking and acting, or whether they're just like these weird animatronic zombies that are just being, I don't know. Sometimes I think people aren't really, they're people, but they just seem more like bots, I guess you could say. But I was trying to mind my own business. That's just the little thought that was in my head. And so I was just kind of relaxing, and I had my AirPods in, at least one in. And as I'm sitting there, it's just, I hear all of this swarming noise around my head, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to get some peace. And I opened my eyes, and all of a sudden this huge bolt of lightning strike right in front of the windows in front of the front desk. Huge. I mean, it looked like a literal cylindrical bolt of lightning, kind of like the light you see streaming in here, but is with orange and red. Bam! And at this point, I know it's just me. I know something weird is going on. And I just got up and I walked to the front desk where Alie and her cohorts are gathered. And I just went up and made a funny comment, and I said, it's okay, y'all. It's just the Hunger Games. I went back to my seat and just started relaxing some more, just trying to meditate, because I was just, at this point, I'm just too tired to even drive home, and it looks like it's about to rain or whatever. So at this point, I'm starting to realize that I might be being gangstalked, and that the illusion I think that they were trying to portray or glamour was that I was in some sort of game, some sort of a reality TV show type game, is what it felt like. And I'm like, I don't give a crap. I just want to relax. Well, at this point, I think I relaxed a little bit more, got up, and then I went to the seating area under the stairs. Another nice little cozy place to sit. So I sat there and I'm meditating again, just trying to relax. And at this point, I know I'm being gangstalked, because what people will do is they will look like normal people, and they are, but they're actors, and they will move in coordinated form and fashion in groups, and then they'll switch out the groups every so often. And I noticed that there were a lot of members that I had never seen before, and a lot of girls that were very pretty. I hate to say it, some really bad tans, like cut off tans and stuff, and girls that are wearing yoga outfits. And I'm sorry, I just have to say this, but girls that are wearing like yoga outfits and stuff that I've never seen before, and I'm like, God, they don't even really look like they work out, which a lot of people do, but I also didn't recognize them. And I've been a member of this gym since 2016. So then I start to notice that the voices are loud. When people gangstalk you, what they'll do is they'll say really rude and off-color and crude things that are very borderline or just downright offensive. But they won't say it looking at you. They'll just say it as they pass by or as they're sitting next to you, you know, or in jest, just laughing as they're walking by. So when you actually call them out and say, hey, did you just say something about, you know, me, you know, that would offend me? And they'll turn around and say, oh, what are you talking about? We're not talking to you, which a couple girls did. And I didn't even hear what they said. I mean, totally what they said. I can't even remember. I just remember thinking, are they talking to me? Like, and I was like, are you guys talking? And they're like, we're not talking to you. So I was like, okay. So I just went back to meditating. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm meditating. But at some point, I think it was right around the time the girls had turned around and said something, and there had been 2 to 3 rounds of actors, bad actors, really bad actors, extras. They're extras. Not that extras can't be good actors, but it's particularly bad. So at this point, I call the front desk because at this point I'm too tired to even walk back up. And Alie answers, and I am really frustrated at this point. I was like, do you allow gangstalking in your facility? Like, is harassment, is this okay? Is this something that is allowed here? And she acts as if she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Somehow I have a feeling she did. But anyhow, I took down the information for the general manager, Pat, for Connie, I think it is. And at this point, my mind is frustrated, to say the least. So I took down his information, but every time I go to call or look anything up on my phone, it either won't dial at this point, or it gives me different web pages that are not giving me the information that I need to call. So at this point, I realized for sure I'm being gang-stalked. And it's definitely not a reality TV show, unless the reality TV show is just to make you go insane, which it could be. Either way, it's not cool, because I just wanted to relax. I don't want to be exploited like that, especially without my consent. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go out to the hot tub. So then I went to the hot tub, and I was in the hot tub, and it was happening again. I started to notice that people were moving in robotic fashion. You know, a girl that walks around the pool but just never goes in and just stands at the stairs, comes out of the stairs, walks by like a zombie, goes back, goes to the stairs, stands there, never gets wet. At this point, I wanted to document a little bit, but I turned on my recording device on my phone, and after about a minute, I was like, you know, maybe it's just not appropriate to record people at the pool. Although there are cameras everywhere, so I'm hoping to see those. So I'm laying there with my AirPods in, but I can still hear, believe it or not, through my AirPods, just people being rude and laughing, and a girl to my left, and just, ugh. So at this point, I just want peace. And in fact, I think I recognized one of the actors. I don't know, he's not a big actor by any means, but I recognized that face. There was something about his face that I recognized. And I have a feeling he may not be here's a dragonfly right here. I didn't recognize him as a member. He might be now, or he might be, but he was laughing with his friend. And I just turned to him and I was like, you know, would you guys just stop? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is harassment. I was like, this is not okay. I don't know why you think this is okay. And at this point, you can tell they feel ashamed of themselves. And I am recording them, by the way. And the girl to my left, she looked down as if she was just, you know, as if they're going to say that they were embarrassed that I was being inappropriate, but I wasn't. I was not being inappropriate at all. I was just telling them just to be quiet and to stop doing whatever they were doing. And you know the difference between when people are offended and just, you can always tell, you can tell when people are ashamed of themselves or not. Not ashamed for me, but ashamed for themselves. And they were very ashamed of themselves and unsure of themselves. And the girl to my left did the same thing. She was just looking down like, but you could tell, like, they're getting paid. They think that this is okay. I don't know what the people who hired them told them, but it's not cool. It's not cool at all. There were regular members there at the club that day. And I would actually like to apply to any of the lifetime members that might have been in there on the afternoon and evening of Wednesday, July 30th. If you witness anything peculiar, especially me and myself, if you could come forth and report me. But I do know that there were members there that were questioning what was going on. They looked unsure themselves. They didn't know what was going on either. So at this point, I call the front desk again, and Alie answers again. And I said, I'm at the pool. Like, what's happening here? Why are you allowing this to go on? And Alie is acting as if she doesn't know who I am or what I'm talking about. So if I just spoke to you a little while ago about harassment, why are you pretending you don't know anything about harassment or that you don't know who you're talking to. You know who I am. You've seen me how many times? She's like, ma'am, you need to come to the front desk. I was already at the front desk. You should know who you're talking to. So at this point, I go up to the front and I speak to Yvonne. And Yvonne didn't incriminate herself, but she knew what was going on. And she was nice enough to be kind, at least, unlike others who said that it seemed like I was being inappropriate. Anyhow, Yvonne brought me to the back office and told me in so many words that she knew what was happening. But they did need to bring me in the back office, because I want to start a scene, even though they're the ones who created the scene. And the whole point is to make you basically get so frustrated that you act out. And they want you to act out of control, because that's how they gain their power. And then they have a defense against you, right? It's like people who give you a backhanded compliment and tell you, bless your heart. It's corporate level, governmental level, money level, big money level. So at this point, after Yvonne and I spoke, and she didn't betray the club, spoke in double entendres, spoke in generalities, but she knew I knew. So at this point, I'm just ready to leave. It's nighttime at this point. It's raining outside. And I walk outside to leave. Now, I didn't quite notice, upon reflection, realize that a lot of the, strangely, although it is a thunderstorm, so there's that out. But no, the other lights were still on. I realize now that a lot of lights were out in the parking lot, which they normally aren't. And my car was not in the regular section that I park in. So I go inside and I tell Yvonne my car is not out there. And so she goes and grabs something to cover her head, and it's raining out there. I knew it was raining. At this point, I didn't feel anything. I'm soaking wet. And we go outside, and somehow she's like, I think your car is right over here. As if she knew where it would be. And it wasn't in the section I normally park it in. It was in the section behind that. But it was there. This was a pre-planned event. So as I'm about to get into my car, I realize that I have left my purse in the locker. But as we're about to walk back in, I turn around and I see bodies moving in darkness. And they're wearing black hoodies and black pants and carrying something in their hand. And I know not to speak out to it, because what are they going to say? Oh, we're not about to do something sketchy? Yeah, okay. I go back inside, soaking wet still, get my purse, go back outside. My car is moved again. At this point, I was like, I called 911. I'm so tired of this. So tired of it. Thank goodness God protects the good, because this needs to stop. Because I know until this is exposed, it won't. So I go in and I get my purse, I come back outside, my car was moved again. Go back in, I tell Yvonne my car is moved again. We go outside, it had been moved to a section perpendicular. I wait till the police get there. The officer was very nice. I have a police report number. I asked him if he understood what gangstalking is. He said he did. And he said that he would have to wait to give the general manager and speak to the general manager, because apparently he's the only one with access to the cameras. And I suspect that what he saw might not be too good, and the report might not be great, because I've yet to get a phone call back, which is why I'm making this video. So like I said, if anybody knows about this and would like to rise to support me and give me your testimony or your account, your witness of what happened, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to make a list of names underneath this video. And again, like I said, it's not to declare anybody's innocence or guilt, but I would like support, because you'll be questioned anyways, I'm sure. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is a chance for all of us to do better. Let's do better. Money's not worth it. That kind of fame, that's not worth it. Just do right. Do good. Do better. So you can get all the things. All the things. Thanks, Lifetime. It's only important for me to make this video because I consider Lifetime Fitness a haven for me, a respite, a nice little resort away from home. So I'm asking for your support. Happy full moon. It's the 9th, August 9th. And guess what? I'm about to go to the pool. I'll see you there. Bye.